City Attorney Van Vanarian, City Clerk Jennifer Stewart, Finance Director Chelsea Pesta, Fire Chief James Coomer, Assistant City Manager Scott Schrader, DPW Superintendent Dan Ladd, Police Chief Paul Shekenes, and Deputy Police Chief Heather Kolke. We also have Mindy Fernandez, Ryan Woods, Casey Ambrose, Bennett Lublin, John Osnick, and Tamara Locke. I'd like to turn it over to you, Bennett Lublin, Pro Tem.
Thank you, Miranda. If we'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will say the invocation. Dear God, we ask you to preside over this meeting tonight. Help us to act as a unified team to open our hearts and make fair and just decisions that improve our community. Also, may we come together as a whole with the courage and strength to show kindness and compassion as we collectively work towards the betterment of humanity. Amen. Amen. We'll do a roll call, determination of quorum.
Ackley, Ambrose.
Here.
Fernandez.
Here.
Locke. Here. Lublin.
Here.
Osnick.
Here.
Woods.
Here.
May I have a motion for Mayor Ackley? We did have correspondence that she will not be attending this evening.
We have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Ambrose will second.
Thank
All in
you.
favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
I think she was on the,
Make the delay.
yes,
We'll go with the delay.
I agree. Do we have any requests for agenda changes?
Yes. Pursuant to Section 8.2C of the Open Meetings Act, I am requesting a closed session to report on negotiations with the part-time and full-time fire union. I am requesting that myself and City Manager Witt will be included in that closed session.
Very good. Do we have a motion for that?
I'll make that motion.
Woods will second.
Very good. Why don't we do a roll call vote?
Let's see. Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley. Thank you.
Very good. And we should probably do that, we'll do that at the end of the meeting.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
It'll be item number 6,
Number,
correct?
at the,
Yeah.
yes. Well, we'll do it after, there is no mayor's report, but after council comments.
We won't be rising from closed session asking for any votes. We're simply going to report to council the outcome of the first strategic sessions, and Ms. Gross will be reporting to the council.
Very good.
Okay.
Great. Audience participation. We do have audience. Oh, wait, the presentation. Excuse me. The presentation, the oath of office administered to Police Officer Christopher McQueen. Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, Council. I'd like to introduce our newest police officer with the Walled Lake Police Department, Officer Christopher McQueen. Will you please come forward? Officer Christopher McQueen joined the department last month as a full-time police officer. Officer McQueen started his career working for the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department in their Corrections Division. That was in 2015. In 2020, he went through the Wayne County Regional Police Academy, moving to the Road Patrol Division. Christopher lives in White Lake with his wife Andrea and their 2 children. Here tonight is his wife Andrea, their children Olivia and Ivy, his mom Sandy, dad Joe, and his mother-in-law. Clerk Stewart, maybe swear him in, please.
No, that's fine. Absolutely.
Sorry.
I do solemnly swear and affirm I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Guelph Lake, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of my ability.
I do.
Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Want to get a shot with all the little McQueens up here?
Oh, no
A few of them.
Congratulations again. Congratulations, welcome.
Andrea?
Great.
That was just great. Was it really so sweet?
That was wonderful.
Picture time.
You betcha.
Nice purse.
No, that's okay, I'll do it.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine. Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
Thank you, council.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like they're going to stick around for you don't have to stick around. We'll wait until you leave.
Aw.
Very nice. Very nice.
Easy, Ron.
All right, we will continue. Audience participation.
Good evening, members of the audience. We do have opportunity for in-person participation and online participation. If you are participating online, we do ask that you hit the *9 feature on your telephone keypad to indicate the raised hand feature, and then you'll hit *6 to unmute yourself. Are there any participants online?
There are none.
Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak regarding items that are not on tonight's agenda? We ask that you approach the podium and provide your name and address, please, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Attorney Dave Rudoy. I represent Bazanzo's, the provisioning center and retail store across the street. I'm coming here asking for your graciousness to place on the agenda at a future meeting the opportunity for the 2 stores located in the C2 district to be allowed to operate until 11 o'clock. A few months ago, the council had looked at this issue for the C3 district. On first reading, it was unanimously passed. And then I think at the next meeting, there was an issue regarding its proximity to a park, and it was removed from the agenda. And I believe there was a public statement about that. But if the city was willing to consider it in the C3 district, both places located in the C2 district, neither of them are located too close to a park. So I don't see any real harm that would be caused by the 11 o'clock time. I think it's something worth putting on the agenda, at least talking over. If you were willing to consider it for the C3 district, I think it would make a lot of sense for the C2 district. It would allow both of those businesses an opportunity to benefit from being open later. It would also cause less traffic, having more hours, more opportunity for customers to come at different times. So for that, For those reasons, Bezanzo's would very much appreciate it being added to the agenda, at least to be debated and considered for the C2 district, as it never really was previously. Thank you very much. As always, one of my favorite cities to be in, favorite city councils to deal with. You guys are always gracious. You guys always take thoughtful consideration of all of these issues. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to correct the record there. The attorney has said that it was taken from the agenda because it was too close, the proposal was, one unit was too close to a park, and that's not at all correct. The proposal came from me after DDA meetings, because I am the executive director, to try to bring activity downtown. It was taken off at my request because we realized that it was going to cause a problem for the people on Spring Park, not a park that had nothing to do with why it was pulled or why I began to oppose it. I think that's a mistake that the attorney has made from the beginning. So the reason we changed our approach on it is because we realized that being open that late for the other provisioning center, which is on Spring Park, was going to cause a problem for those people, and the discussion was had about that took a pretty bad beating to begin with traffic. So let's get it right. The reason it was pulled or delayed or stopped, whatever you want to call it, was because it was Spring Park. It had nothing to do with the park.
All right, thank you.
That's
for your-
simple.
Thank you for your input.
It is exactly what it is. It had to do with by extending the time, you're going to extend the time that the people in the residential area are affected. And I missed that when I made the proposal at the DDA meeting. I missed that altogether. It was brought to my attention, actually, by other people. So that's still the issue. If you extend the time, then you're going to affect the people in Spring Park. And after we went through that process with the provisioning center at the beginning of Spring Park, we kind of all agreed that we ought to give them a little more consideration. And extending the hours doesn't do that. And that's what ought to be discussed tonight if you do that. It's the same issue. We don't need to do that.
Very good.
No.
Thank you. Any other audience participation?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
My name is Chris Conklin. I'm with Corrigan Mechanical Contractors, division of Corrigan Oil. There's a client of ours that's trying to get not a marina, but a tank behind his facility. It's a grocery party store, and I want to briefly explain my situation. Is that all right? Can I hand these out to you real quick, or no? Is it all right?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Just a small
Sure.
brief of what I'm going to say in 2 seconds. I didn't know I had 3 minutes. I apologize.
Very good.
Thank you.
Mr. Ambrose? I think I knew your father. Yes.
Probably
My
did.
wife was an attorney.
Well, that'd be an uncle.
A long time ago. 30 years ago. Okay, again, my name is Chris Conklin. I'm a project manager for Corrigan Mechanical Contractors, a division of Corrigan Oil. I believe you all know Corrigan Oil. They supply oil, gas products, towing, and they're a little under $400 million business. They own multiple companies. My part is the petroleum construction. I was a contractor for Oscar W. Larson for 20 years, a foreman. Then I was an inspector for the state of Michigan for Laura, which was DEQ also. And then after 15 years there, I became, Mr. Corrigan asked me for a job and I took it. So what's today is we're trying to get not a marina, but a petroleum facility, 1,000-gallon fire guard tank. It's a double wall tank and a dispenser for behind his facility. In the beginning, I made a phone call to Walled Lake, and I was incorrect. I talked to somebody that stated that it was all right for me to install the tank, or Corrigan to install the tank, so we began doing it. Then the inspector for the commercial division came back, and then he instructed me that we couldn't do it. So we removed the tank, and we're trying to get that process going right now. The tank is a double wall construction fire guard tank. It has a dispenser. It's a suction system. There's no pressure. It will be dispensed for someone that's certified to do it. Right now, between 2 and 5% of all fuel that goes in Walled Lake is from people filling their boats at home. There's no dispensing facility at all. Mostly you have younger kids, they want to go on the boat, the dad says go fill the boat up, and actually 2 to 5% of fuel goes into the water sometimes. The facility I'm trying to install is certified, double wall construction, all the bells and whistles as far as leaks, overfill. It can't be disturbed. It can't be destroyed. It can't leak into the ground unless it's going to have a certified person dispensing the fuel. Nobody privately can touch it. Other than that, it's the safest system. The tank that he purchased cost double what a regular underground storage tank costs because it's bulletproof, literally bulletproof. It has a 2.5-hour fire rating. It could be within 3 feet of a building. A normal underground storage tank, they're all double wall nowadays, has to be between 15 and 20 feet away from the building. But this tank, it's a very pricey tank, but the state of Michigan deems it one of the best tanks you could ever install. Michigan started installing them, and all the states around also install them now. So what I'm trying to say is it's a very safe system. It's tried and true. Corrigan Oil stands behind every small project. Not his is small, but we have small and massive projects. We're willing to do whatever it takes to hopefully get this system up and running. And everything's in the little pamphlet. It states on the left side, it's about the tank, it's about the dispensing system. On the right, it's your different zones. And one note, his facility used to be a gas station. So way back, well before my time, and but you know it was dismantled and it became a grocery store. So that's about it. And I appreciate your time very much. And if you have any questions, my card's there. If you want to give me a call, if it's possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your input. I think we have another gentleman.
Hello, my name is Ken Holmes. I live at 905 East Walled Lake Drive. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of the fuel tank that is proposed to be put in. Hopefully, all of you people are boaters, and you know what it's like to fill gas, put gas in your boat. As people get older, like myself, things get a little tougher to carry 5-gallon cans out to your boat to put them in so you can go out and enjoy the lake. I believe that this would most definitely be beneficial to the lake as far as people not spilling gas when they're putting it in their boat. It would be beneficial as far as the amount of labor and stuff that is necessary to go to the gas station, get gas cans, bring them home, put them in your boat. So if at all possible, would be, I talked to Eddie about it, and he said he talked to the DNR. It was not a problem. He also said he talked to the fire marshal. He didn't see a problem. So hopefully you gentlemen and ladies will not see a problem as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can.
Hello, I'm a little bit nervous speaking in public, so forgive me. Brian Gilman, 1280 East Lake Drive. I'm also here to petition the council to allow us to have our own filling station on the lake. I've been a resident of Walled Lake for probably 12 or 13 years. I consider myself fantastic as far as the fueling systems. Myself, my neighbors, it doesn't matter how many doors down, we all live fairly close. We all struggle with the same things. We'll buy different separate pumps. We'll buy them every year just to kind of replace them. We'll take them out there. We'll drag them down to our boats. We'll do the best we possibly can. But yet, no matter how hard we try, we're still spilling it in, and we're still watching the little rainbow stuff. I happen to live a few doors down from one of our local firemen here for Walled Lake, and I had mentioned something to him about the opportunity to also have have fueling station on the lake, and he totally supports it because he sees the same thing I do. It's myself, and just in my little small section, probably 10 or 15 different homes, and I'm watching a spill every weekend, and it kills me to do it. And again, I've spent probably in the last 10 years different gas filling systems, different pumps that you stick in, and they're battery operated or whatever, push the button, and no matter what you do, you're still pulling it out and you're still dribbling all over the place. And not only that, but then you have gasoline on the side of your boat. And if you happen to unfortunately have some smokers or something like that, none of these things are good. So I'm also here to request a filling station on Walled Lake at Eddie's store. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Good evening, council. Good evening, Mr. Manager. Good evening, staff. And good evening, audience.
Please state your name and address, even though we know who you are.
My name is Eddie Hassano, 136 East Walled Lake Drive and 1359 Novi, or East Walled Lake in Novi. What we're proposing is this tank to be installed at the facility, just so everybody could have we have a need to have gas on our lake. And this need has grown so big that, we came to the conclusion that we needed a tank. We just needed gas on our lake. There are other lakes that have petroleum, facilities that they can have. And I've been at my store for 11 years, and I've seen so much gas just pollute the lake, whether it be someone that doesn't know how to do it or just someone that's just not able to take the tank and put it into or take the can and put it into the tank. So the need is growing higher and higher. I want to say everybody on the lake supports this, pretty much, probably 99.5. And if you don't, you probably don't care about the lake or don't live on the lake, or, everybody's supporting it that I know on the lake. I have the Oakland County Sheriff's Division, the Marine Division, that stays at my facility, and they support it 100%. They feel like it would be an advantage to them also. Oakland County supports it. I mean, it's a great thing. We need this. It's a need, council and Mr. Manager. It's a need that we need badly. For years and years, we've been dumped upon. As Mr. Chris said, the tank and the pump is more than safe. I mean, you could light a firework under it and nothing would happen. And the pump itself, once your tank is full, it will not pump anymore. There's a stop guard there. Other things that I would say is that the facility used to be a gas station. There was a Shell gas station on the front of my building, and I have a lovely picture when you come in, and it says Shell gas, and there was 2 pumps, and there was a tank in the ground. So the existence was there. It was there, and we just want to make it happen again for the people. This is, after all, everything are the needs of the people. So I request of you to please give us gasoline on the lake. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you so much. If there's any questions that you have for me, I'm here to answer them if you want to. If not, thank you for your time. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other audience participation?
Hi, I'm Deborah Holmes, and I live at 905 East Walled Lake Drive. And I highly support being able to get gas. I'm getting older now, and it's hard for me to lift a 5-gallon gas can to fill the boat. And I've spilled gas, and when Eddie mentioned it, I was like all over it. I support it. I think it'd be great for the people in Walled Lake.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.
Sorry, council, if I may add one more thing. We just brought a few people here, but believe me, we could have filled this whole entire parking lot out there. But I wanted to keep it at a minimum to be respectful for you guys. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other audience participation? With that, we'll close audience participation. And do I have an approval, or a motion for approval of the minutes?
Woods will make that motion. Ambrose will second.
Being a motion and support, discussion?
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Thank you. Ackley. Thank you.
Very good. Moving on, council reports. Do we have?
Yes,
Thank you,
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem.
At the last planning commission meeting, we had a public hearing. That was the only thing that was on the agenda. We had a public hearing, and we heard from numerous people from the audience and from the constituents of people that are on the lake, and there was no yes votes for changing the ordinance. Everybody that spoke was against changing the ordinance, allowing structures on the lake. So that's the extent of my report.
Very good. Thank you. Any other? Councilwoman Fernandez?
I'm finally on the road. So, we did have a Parks and Rec meeting, and we talked about pickleball. Again, my favorite subject, and we are going to be moving forward, looking at options, different parks, as well as grants that might be available to help us financially make this feasible. So that's very exciting. And then we also talked about the summer concerts series. The list is on the website for all the concerts on Wednesdays at Riley Park, which will be great with the first day of spring, to think about the first days of summer when we can get out to Riley Park and hear some great music. The Easter egg hunt is coming up, and I will let staff talk about that because I don't have the flyer right in front of me. But that's coming up really soon, and that's also at Riley Park, so I want to make sure everybody has it. The flyer is on the website, so I want to encourage everybody to get that out, put the flyers up, post it on your social media sites. Let's get a lot of kids there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I understand there's going to be a celebrity bunny.
Very good. That's always a great event. Our Easter egg hunt is well attended, and we really we put on a great event so that from all around everybody enjoys it. So, as far as the library, we did have a meeting last week, and we worked on our budget, and we'll be presenting that to council in April. So everything is good there.
Very good.
All right. City managers report.
Mayor Pro Tem, I would request that the city council move to approve, receive, and file the departmental divisional statistical reports, including police, fire, finance, includes the warrant, and code enforcement. And at the code enforcement level, I have an additional report, or a report on a code enforcement issue of the past. I may either do it or have the chief to report on.
Let's make a motion
Yeah.
for the,
Osnick will make the motion to receive and file.
very good, second.
Ambrose will second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Ackley. Thank you.
Very good.
Mayor Pro Tem, I have an update. We have the paperwork on the negotiated settlement with the Tiki Bar, who was fined $300 and pleaded guilty to one of the violations that they were written up for. And this stems back from the original car event that caused problems in the neighborhood. There was no cooperation. The agreement allowed them to drop one charge. They dismissed the charge, and they were fined. They had to go to court. Chief, do you have the specifics in front of you? I do, but...
I do not have it in front of me. There was 2 charges that were levied by the LCC, Liquor Control Commission for the state of Michigan. That was failing to obtain a city permit and obstructing police. They pled guilty to failing to obtain a city permit under a plea agreement with a $300 fine. This was the first infraction against the Tiki Bar under their current name, which I believe Sunset Sunset Grill. In either 2020 or 2021, they became Sunset Grill. So,
Sunset Grill Sunset Grill LLC does business as a tiki bar. They were charged with violating their own rules, and they dropped one, or they dismissed it after they pleaded. The point is what this proves is the businesses have to comply with the rules if they run a liquor or sell liquor. If they don't sell liquor, it's a little different issue, but you can't just throw an event or you're going to get written up. I don't think that had ever happened in the past. We had a demand from council and the residents that some action be taken. The police department developed a strategy with the chief's assistance. He developed a strategy, and that's our strategy from now on. If you don't coordinate with the police with the events and activities you're doing, and you have a liquor license, we're going to file charges with the Liquor Commission, and they do take action. And it's much easier to cooperate, keep the police informed of your events, and control your events. You're responsible if you hold a liquor license, and you're managing that. He's a manager. So this is a final follow-up, and I believe that several council members were personally involved and got complaints, phone calls at their house even. So this is the end of that event. We don't believe it's going to happen again, but if it is, we're prepared to go forward again. And at some point, if they continue to do that, not they, but any business, we will revoke their business license. So that's the end of that one. I hope we don't have any more problems down there in the summertime, so that's what we're looking at.
Well, the way we handled it will hopefully deter anyone else from.
It had never been handled that way before.
Pulling a permit.
I don't think it had ever had to go forward, but they just refuse to comply. And if you hold a liquor license, you have to comply, otherwise you can be held accountable. You're going to lose your liquor license. If they don't pay the fine that they're supposed to pay within 45 days, their license will be suspended for 30 days, which becomes a substantially higher penalty. And ultimately, they can be held. So that's the approach we're taking. All we want is compliance. We want to keep the community safe. We want to keep the community happy, and those businesses that hold a liquor license in our community need to know that, and that's why we're reporting the final outcome there. So,
Very good, good work.
yeah.
Any other items?
Thank you.
City Manager Witt?
Well, the other item, we got correspondence from our county treasurer, Wittenberg. I think rather than me doing a lot of talking about it, if I could get Ms. Pesta to read that into the record, and then we can talk about that. It's very, well, either one of you can do that. The treasurer, the county treasurer, gives a solution to the people who have problems paying their taxes. But what the letter lays out is you have to pay your taxes, or you have to get help from the treasurer's office, and they provide that in this letter. But if we don't read the letter into the record or have that discussion, some of the folks out there might not get that letter or read it. So I think it's a good point. Ms. Pesta, can you grab a hold of that? I know that you didn't expect to do that, but
I had the deadline, I didn't have.
I think it's better if you read it. It's the words right from the letter itself, and then we can have that discussion. But it may save some people from being foreclosed.
Oakland County Treasurer's Office is in the final stretch of our foreclosure prevention efforts. The tax foreclosure deadline for the 2020 or prior year taxes is on March 31st, 2023. That means if these taxes aren't paid off by March 31st, or any interested party hasn't entered into a repayment schedule with the Treasurer's Office by then, the property will be foreclosed. Since December of 2022, the Treasurer's Office has conducted over 8,000 taxpayer assistant meetings to assist taxpayers with keeping their properties by working with them to get on a repayment schedule and/or by identifying resources that may be beneficial to them and their situation. We are here to help and strongly encourage taxpayers to contact us before the tax foreclosure deadline if they have delinquent taxes for 2020 or prior tax years. Taxpayers interested in scheduling a taxpayer assistance meeting may call us at 248-858-0611, or they may visit www.oakgov.com/treasurer. Some of the resources available to assist taxpayers include Michigan Homeowners Assistance Fund, which is a state grant that will cover up to $25,000 for delinquent taxes 2019 and forward, mortgage payments, and utility bills. must be a primary residence making less than 150% and provide COVID hardship in order to qualify. Apply at mihaf.michigan.gov. Financial Empowerment Center in the Treasurer's Office, which provides one-on-one financial coaching and services to help taxpayers achieve their financial goals. Contact Rita, and her email is connected, or at 248-807-5287. Last option is Lakeshore Legal Aid provides for free legal services to people who are low income and seniors. You can reach them at 1-888-783-8190. Again, we are here to help and strongly encourage taxpayers to contact the Treasurer's Office if they have delinquent taxes for 2020 or prior tax years.
All right, thank you. It has been read into the minutes.
I think the record speaks for much better than I could, but pay your taxes, get it on time, or get help if you can't. In the past, since I've been in Oakland County, I've seen some foreclosures that didn't have to happen. People weren't, paying attention, or they couldn't pay attention. So what we're looking, nobody wants to foreclose. I think no local government wants anything foreclosed. We want you to pay and get the money in. But this treasurer is doing a pretty fair job of getting that information out. So we have a good relationship with him, and I think that memo was a good start. We don't want to foreclose. We don't want the treasurer to foreclose. We just want people to take care of their obligations. So, and that's all I got on that.
You mentioned something about a code enforcement item? Or
That was the
Oh, that was
item,
the
the
one.
code enforcement item. That was code enforcement. That started with citations from the police chief's
I understand.
team and
We
code
discussed
enforcement. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah.
Very good. All right, let's
I'm
move
good.
on to the attorney's report.
Yeah, just to kind of dovetail on the city manager's report regarding the auto show at the Tiki Bar. In addition to the violations that were issued at the state level with the LCC, they were also issued tickets for violating the city's local ordinances as well, and they did plead responsible to that violation of the local city ordinance for failing to obtain a temporary use permit. Their claim was that it wasn't their event, they weren't the sponsor of the event, they just gave someone else permission to use the parking lot, and that they didn't know that the event was going to be what it was. However, the point to take away is if it's on your property, then it's your event, so you're responsible for it.
Exactly.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, and moving on to unfinished business. The lot split proposal regarding the 850 Ladd Road, Building E.
Yeah, this matter concerns a reconsideration of a lot split proposal that originally came before council back in August of last year. The applicant is an industrial property owner, Turning Point Holding LLC. They own 850 Ladd Road, Building E, which is an industrial piece of property that's improved with an industrial building. They're part of the old, I think it was called Textron, was the old business that used to be there, and it kind of got split up. So it was originally built and developed as to be used by a single business, but is now owned and operated by separate businesses. Anyway, Turning Point's parking lot apparently encroaches partially onto the neighboring city lot, which is about a 4.5 acre parcel. It's vacant land. It's basically used for right-of-way and wetlands mitigations purposes. And as it turns out, part of the Turning Point parking lot is located on a corner of the city lot. So the essence of the lot split proposal is to split off a narrow triangular shaped portion piece from the city lot, add it to the Turning Point lot, and that would essentially resolve the parking lot encroachment. Right now, with that encroachment, it creates a problem for them in terms of obtaining any type of zoning approvals for any future use of the property. So that is in essence what the proposal is. Council did not approve it the first time it came before council back in August of last year, 2022. Since that time, the principal for the property owner, Don Leith, who's also runs the business that operates out of that location, he really has stepped up and made some significant contributions to the city by way of abating some longstanding blight and nuisance conditions here in the city. And as council knows, that's been a priority for the city for the last year or so, is to clean up some of these longstanding blight and nuisance problems throughout the city. So he has voluntarily undertaken to help clean some of these problems up that have significantly benefited the city. As I've indicated in my memo, he tore down a guard shack that was at the old entryway for the old Textron plant. It was very badly deteriorated, was a real eyesore, real problem, long-standing problem. It's something that should have been taken care of long ago, but he stepped up and took care of that, paid for it, even though it's not his property. Got the contractor, pulled the permits, did everything right, and it's certainly a significant improvement to the city. He is now partnered with another property owner in that former Textron complex to demolish the water tower. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It's an old rusty water tower. It's kind of right there, kind of hits you right in the face as you're going down Maple Road towards Ladd. It's been a problem for the city for a number of years. The city has been trying to get it torn down through voluntary compliance measures by sending violation notices to the owner of the water tower. Had several meetings with them, and we just weren't able to make any progress with them in terms of getting voluntary compliance. Mr. Leith has partnered with them. He's represented that he's entered into an agreement with them to get that water tower torn down. So that's these things that he's done significantly benefit the city in a very direct way, because now the city avoids the cost of having to file a legal proceeding to get a court order to get these various blight and nuisance conditions abated around the city that he's been working on getting taken care of through voluntary compliance measures. So what he has done has benefited the city directly in a very direct and financial way, a monetary way. So the request that's back before council tonight is to reconsider the lot split proposal, to essentially approve it, and to adopt the resolution that would authorize, conveying this narrow portion of land, of vacant city land, and then combining it with his parcel to resolve that parking lot encroachment, and then to accept his efforts, which I've indicated directly benefit the city, as compensation for that conveyance. So that's the proposal.
Right. I think that's, well, let's have do we have a motion to support that the resolution? And then we'll probably second it, and then we can have discussion. Or shall we discuss it first?
Osnick will make a resolution to the City Council of the City of Walled Lake approving the lot split and conveyance of city-owned land, this being Resolution 2023-06.
06.
Yes.
Very good. Support?
Woods will support.
Well, let's have do we need discussion? I think the city is...
The city management supports that. We've had several meetings with the parties involved, some of them good, some of them bad. This is a final solution. I thought the city attorney did a great job of preparing instruments that can make this all happen and make everybody happen. The parties that own the land where the water tower is should come out of this happy. The gentleman who's cleaned up the area and removed most of the blight except the water tower has done a great job. We support this resolution. We support the solution it brings to the city. And I know that there's a department here that's going to be really happy, and that would be the fire department if the water tower comes down. It should be noted for the public that the water tower has never been owned by the city. The water tower was constructed, do we know, Jim, by Textron, right, to provide a fire? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of folks drive by, and because there's so many water towers that belong to the municipal governments or local governments, they believe that that's our tower, and they believe that the city hasn't done the right upkeep on it. The issue is it belongs to a private entity that the city doesn't control. And it's unfit for a water tower use now. There's no way they're going to get it done. It looks like this gentleman has moved it ahead. I think the latest, who can get me over there, the latest asbestos report has already been, do we get it back yet? We don't know, but if the council approves as we recommend, that water tower could be down sooner than later, which is a big benefit to the city in terms of blight and how it looks. We support the resolution as drafted by the city attorney.
And I would like to add that the parcel that is being conveyed is 1/3 of an acre, about 15,000 square feet. It is
0.35.
It's not
Yeah,
very
it's a
large
very,
piece.
very small
Very
piece
thin
of
piece.
land.
It's not developable by anything. It's not planned for use. Indeed, it's arguable that if we kept it, in the maintenance business, we'd have to do something with it by conveying it. It's going to be maintained as part of his property. So it's actually a benefit in that regard in a very small way. So again, we recommend
It's a great
it.
example of a business, working with the city to achieve.
That's exactly what it is. You have a good business owner, and I think that he's really been a good corporate citizen by the way he handled it. So, again, we support it 100%.
The only thing that I would add is if council does adopt the resolution and approve the conveyance, I would just point out that the resolution is conditional upon the water tower actually being taken down. It hasn't been taken down yet, so he's going to have to follow through and deliver on the goods if
Nothing is conveyed until he completes or they complete their work.
That was the nature of my compliment to the city attorney, because it was so artfully written. You can look at it, no. The water tower's got to be laying on the ground before anything gets conveyed. So it was really nicely done. I thought he did a great job. He put all of his skills to work. So it does what we needed to do. So you got your money's worth out of the city attorney that day.
Indeed.
Okay.
I think we're ready for a vote. Roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley. Thank you.
Very good. Resolution passes. All right, how about moving on to new business? The proposed resolution, 2023-07, the Trailway Controlled Device Maintenance Agreement.
I'll take that, Mayor Pro Tem. The resolution was drafted by staff. The resolution is required to approve these agreements. The city council has to approve them. They were sent to us by the county, and they set them up as individual agreements. So there's 3 of them because we have 3 sites that they will have to maintain. Now that we control the trail, and the trail, it's not part of the airline trail anymore. It's Wall Lakes Trail. It's a Wall Lake Trail. So there's 3 crossings there, and for whatever reason, the county put 3 separate agreements in. I might add that if you make the motion to pass this, that you could correct the resolution, because it says attachments on there, and correct the resolution as part of the motion, that make it attachments, and then make the H, A, B, and C. It says A, but there's 3 different, you got one resolution approving 3 different instruments there. One resolution does that. but it's kind of misleading if you look at it the way I read it. So if you could just correct that and then pass the resolution, what you're approving is the 3 agreements that the county wants in order to do maintenance on them in the future.
So A, B, and C?
Yeah, it should be A, B, and C. Instead of just attachment A, it should be A, B, and C, because each one of those, they're different locations, so that cleans that up a little bit for the record.
Just adding that right to the very end.
Yeah, it's the last part of the
Comma,
resolution.
Attachments A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Very good for our 3 points. Do I have a motion for that resolution?
Locke will make that motion with the correction.
It works.
Very good, and that would be 2023-07.
Olson will support.
Very good. Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Ackley? Thank you.
Very good. Moving on to item number 2 under new business, proposed resolution 2023-08. Defer the special meeting requirements for the budget presentation and adoption. That being 2023-08.
Ms. Pesta will handle that one if discussion.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Before you is the standard resolution that comes before you annually every year. This is to reschedule the special meeting for the budget presentation that is scheduled for Monday, May 15th, 2023, to reschedule it to our regular council meeting for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023, and also rescheduling our budget adoption meeting that is scheduled for Monday, June 12th, 2023, to reschedule it to our regular scheduled meeting for Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. If there's any further questions?
I think we all understand that you don't need to have multiple meetings when you can all do it in one meeting just right before it. So we've discussed that before.
Yes.
And then also before you, just as we're on the same topic, I did reset on your desks for this evening. Our first budget workshop will be scheduled for this Saturday at 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you.
It's
You're
already
welcome.
here.
Who's will make the motion to approve proposed resolution 2023-08?
Ambrose will second.
Very good. Roll call vote, please.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ackley? Thank you.
Very good.
Mayor Pro Tem, let me touch on the budget stuff. I know that a lot of people have other obligations, so we're going to work through this. If you can't make any of the particular one, you're not going to miss anything because we're going to finalize it at some point and do it all again. But Ms. Pesta scheduled the beginning she's scheduled for to go over revenues and drug forfeitures. I believe that we'll have the police chief there, and the debt service issues and transportation for Saturday. Is that what we got Saturday?
Yes.
And if you can't make that, again, Saturday's a busy day for a lot of people, other things. So, but we will revisit all of that again at one time. We have to. So you really won't. It'll be great if you're there, but if you're not, it's our meeting, and we want to get everybody informed who's able to do it. But neither do we want to encumber your time. But it is useful for those who want to kind of drill down in why we do what we do. But in the end, we'll have a budget package that everybody can look at, and what you vote on will be before you. So,
It's always a worthwhile presentation.
I like it.
yes. Ms. Pest will be doing it this year. Everybody gets a shot at that through the year, so it's all her this year. So we'll see you Saturday, hopefully.
Very good. Do we have a motion? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We're good. We don't need a
We
motion.
don't need a motion for that. Let's move on to item number 3, the proposed resolution 2023-09, the interlocal lockup services agreement with the city of Wixom.
That'd be the chief.
Chief. The chief.
All right, council. You have seen this agreement before. What we're seeing is a one-year agreement with the city of Wixom that they drafted. City attorney did review it to make sure it's legally sufficient. We are seeing a 4% increase in lodging costs over last year. Offhand, it's about $100 per prisoner per night that we pay the city of Wixom to use their lockup facility. They are the closest lockup facility. We have a great relationship with them. The other option would be to take them all the way to Pontiac to the Oakland County Jail. So we'd request that you approve the resolution as drafted.
We have seen this before.
Indeed, we have.
You have the reason we need a lockup facility is they would have to go to the jail. That means it takes whatever officers you got out of the city, so you have no officer. It turns into overtime, it turns a whole lot of stuff. So the lockup facility, the city does not have a lockup facility. In years past, they did. If you visited the police station, you'll see we still have the remnants of the old system, which are no longer meet federal standards, so we can't have our local lockup. Wixom has a nice new facility that meets the federal standards, and that's why we use Wixom. Close, and we work with them, and Wixom's a great team to work with over there. They're great departments.
Very good.
Recommend you.
Do I have a motion for that?
Ambrose will make the motion for proposed resolution 2023-10.
09.
Oh, 09.
Very good. Support?
Full support.
Locke supports. Roll call vote, please.
Hernandez.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay. Thank you. Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley. Thank you.
Very good. Resolution carries. Moving on to item number 4, the proposed resolution 2023-010, purchase of a new door locking system.
Got to be Chief Shekinnis as well.
Thank you, sir. What we're looking at is to upgrade the current system. We have a swipe or door card system that we've had for a little over a decade. Unfortunately, that system is no longer supported by the manufacturer CanSec. That was installed by JK Locksmith. They've been doing their best to keep it up and running. Even that means occasionally coming in on a Sunday. We've had some doors fail. So we're at a point that the system is no longer serviceable. So we're asking for JK Locksmith to be the sole provider at a cost of $6,854.95 for an updated, the system is called PDK. It's a cloud-based system instead of a closed system, and be able to access from anywhere with the proper credentials and be able to get in and out of our building. So ask council approval for resolution 23-10. We've had a great relationship with JK Locksmith, so I wouldn't suggest changing it. It's very hard to find a locksmith, and they are local. They're Wixom. The owner actually lives in Walled Lake.
Thank you.
Locke will make that motion.
Woods will support.
Discussion, I have one item of discussion. This is for all the doors of the public safety campus?
Correct. Yes, every door that currently has a swipe on it would be included in that system, and we're also looking at expanding that to see what the cost would be.
Okay, very good. Roll call vote, please.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes?
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Thank you. Ackley. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item number 5. First reading, C 366-23, amendment to Chapter 34, Environment, Article 5, illicit stormwater discharges. Let's see who's going to handle that.
I can
I'm
talk to you
going to
about.
let Ms. Pesta do it. I know it looks like it ought to be over in Public Works, but it's a different kind of an issue, so get them up to speed there.
This ordinance has already been passed by council. We're asking for an amendment tonight. This is part of our MS4 permit requirements, and it took Eagle a little bit over 2 years to review our original ordinance that we passed. They have asked for us to make 2 small changes to that ordinance, so that is what this amendment is here for you before. We're literally just taking a couple words out in 2 sections of the ordinance they requested. Otherwise, the entirety of it is...
Explain to them why you're telling the story instead of somebody in Public Works, because you do the permitting.
I do the permitting.
I see. So there's really no change to what we want
No.
out of this ordinance. It's just about the wording to
Right.
specify.
We follow the Oakland County standards, and that is what the overall ordinance says in itself, but they requested a few changes.
And Eagle is the new DNR.
Correct, and they've had turnover, so we have new people that we're working with, so that's why some of these changes are occurring.
Very good. Do we need a motion to
Yes.
support
Yes.
the first reading?
Right. Osnick will make that motion. Ordinance number C 366-23. An ordinance to amend Chapter 34, Environment of the City of Gold Lake, Code of Ordinances, Article 5, illicit stormwater discharges, to adopt stormwater management standards and regulate illicit discharges into the city's stormwater drainage system.
Support?
Woods second, and that'll be the first reading.
Right.
Correct.
That's correct.
Very good. I think we've discussed it. Roll call.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Fernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Ackley? Thank you.
Very good. All right, moving on to council comments. Might as well start on my left here. With Councilwoman Locke.
tonight.
Okay. Councilman Osinick.
Osnick is good.
Very good. Councilman Woods.
The Commerce Area Historical Society will be doing their spring cleanup. It will be April 22nd. So they are asking for help, so if anybody can help, they would gladly appreciate it. And then Saturday, I stopped in at the library community input meeting. So it was really nice to go through that, nice to see the kids section with the new lights that are in there, the new tables and chairs that are in the office room or the meeting room. But some of the feedback was, everybody likes their hometown library, so good work to the library and the board.
Very good. Thank you. Councilman Ambrose.
Nothing much to report on besides continuing our city administration, city staff for everything they do, keeping our city looking beautiful, being that one step ahead, always having the forethought on what we want our community to look like moving forward. That's really all I have, so thank you.
Very good. And Councilwoman Fernandez, I will not forget you.
Thank you. I've lost my voice, so I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. I'm looking forward to the Easter egg hunt coming up.
Very good. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that we have a date on why don't we discuss that a little bit? The Easter egg hunt, the date is?
Saturday, April 8th.
Okay, so the day before Easter.
Yes, correct. And it's at Hiram Sims Park from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're also doing the egg stuffing event here in City Council Chambers Saturday, April 1st at 10 a.m. if you'd like to help stuff those eggs.
If you give us an email reminder, I'll be happy to help.
I will.
I'm sorry, what time is it?
10 a.m. Saturday, April 1st. I will send out an email reminder.
Is it okay if I bring volunteers?
Yes, that would be great.
No.
There's over 3,000 eggs to stuff,
Please,
so yes.
Councilwoman Mindy Fernandez discussed a celebrity bunny. Do we know who that celebrity is?
It's a secret.
I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping to find out, though.
It's big time, big time.
I don't have any other comment. Just, you know what, springtime. It's nice to see some nice day today. All right, why don't we move into we'll take a short recess.
5 minutes.
Take 5, maybe 8 minutes recess, and then we'll reconvene for our
Closed session.
Thank you, closed session. That's the word. Thank you all.
Thank you.